Hi, everyone. It's Sybil. Yes, and Sybil solo right now, but we are expecting Damon Williams any moment now. And J. Anthony Brown is out today. He is taking a well-deserved day off. Aren't all his days off? Anyway, so I just want to talk to you about a couple of things. We have a very important vote going on in the United States House of Representatives regarding the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. We're going to talk about that, as well as we have a friend to the show, to the Tom Jordan Morning Show, tweeted out this message. And Chica, if we have that picture, if we can put it up, a young woman missing from North Carolina A&T. Diamond has not been seen or heard from since last Tuesday. If you can see that, a family member, Sherry Kimbrough, has put out this tweet, and Butterscotch forwarded it to a number of us, including Roland Martin, myself. So please, 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 if you have seen Diamond, or if you know her whereabouts, or you have any information, this young woman from North Carolina A&T, please let them know. Let the authorities know, or get in touch with Sherry Kimbrough. All right. And we appreciate that. This is especially important to us because, as we have said at the Tom Jordan Morning Show, as well as what we have said on this show and in our newsletter, it is very important that we get the information about young missing Black women and young men, because they don't get the attention. They don't get the word out the way that young white people do, especially, or older Black and older white people. The difference is still there, no matter what the age, but it is about the color. So we thank you for taking note of that. And if we can get back to that, we will, and get an update on hopefully finding this young woman and getting her reunited with her family. This is also a day in which we're talking about the national vote, the House vote on the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. It's supposed to take place in the House, and it may be taking place right now as we speak. They may be on the floor of that. The House came back early. They are working on a number of issues. You know, the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, had to work with the moderates, not the progressives, but the moderates, on a number of issues, including the budget and talking about the infrastructure bill. That's a part of their work this week, as well as the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. A number of people out in front of the White House today, including our friends Latasha Brown and Cliff Albright of Black Voters Matter. They are out there and reminding President Joe Biden that he needs to multitask, that you can do more than one thing. Yes, as important as Afghanistan is, as important it is to get the budget out, as important as it is to stop the wave, this latest wave of this horrific virus and the Delta variant of the coronavirus, as important as all those things are, it's also important that you focus on the voting rights acts that are up there now, and just kind of the For the People Act is just kind of there waiting for something to happen. And that something has to be Joe Biden coming up and making a stand for getting rid of the filibuster. That is the most important thing that he can possibly do. And that is the most important thing. Where's Jay and Damon? Jay is taking the day off. Damon is on his way. And yes, you are right. TYO Dimples on YouTube. The U.S. can get people on the moon, but not fair voting. Come on, politicians. You're right. And that's pretty much what they were saying at the White House. They were at Lafayette Park across from the White House today. And they were saying, step up, Joe. Each person had an individual letter, and it spelled out, step up, Joe. And also, hey, Joe, filibuster's got to go. And so let's get, and a reminder that we can still call our senators and tell them that we want them to work things out and vote for this bill. I'm from a state that has two Republican senators, but you can bet you by golly wow that I bet you by golly wow that you can call your senators, even if they are not of your political linkage, get them to talk to them and tell them how you feel about this. I'm not crazy about calling Ted Cruz's office, trust and believe. I'd be more I am more comfortable talking to John Cronin because even though he is of the other party, from my stand, he is a little bit more moderate in his thoughts and his beliefs, so, and his politics. So I have called and I've left messages, and I would look forward to talking to them both. So that's my open, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I've had some issues with my computer as well as this is the other thing that was. Hello, Damon.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so let's do a reset here.
Okay.
And I love when you guys go like this. Let's do a reset. It's Sybil, and today is our Damon Williams Day. Hello, Damon. How are you?
Hey, Sybil. How you doing today?
I'm good. Are you good? Are you okay?
Yeah, we'll talk off the air. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. J. Anthony Brown is taking the day off because every day is an off day for Jay. But he is taking the day off. So let's talk about you being home for a little bit. As from Martha's Vineyard, the timing could not have been better, huh?
Yeah, getting out of there right before the big storm. Actually, the promoter, Steve Capers, got stuck because he drove.
Oh.
So he had to wait it out until the ferries resumed. So it wasn't so bad. Apparently, he lived through it. No damage to him or his property. And so everything was okay. But I was glad to get the hell out of there.
I bet you were. And especially with the storm. So, okay, so let's talk about what's really going on. And Damon, what I want to talk about is we are at really good points in our lives. We have attained a certain amount of success in our respective fields. We're doing things that are fun for the most part, but it may not be what we want to do for our next chapter. And so I want us all, folks that are listening, I want you to also consider, what would you like to happen in your next chapter? And I use as our prime example, as you think about this, Damon, I use as our prime example is the NBA champion, J.R. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
J.R. Smith is out of basketball, and now he is going to an HBCU, and he is going to play golf. He's going to be on the golf team.
Oh, wow.
Living out, he never went to college. And so, and he went straight into the NBA. And so now at whatever age JR is, and I'm thinking it's in his 30s still, I think, right?
Yeah, he should
be. Yeah. He is leaving the NBA behind, and a lot of his friends are really proud of him, and they're saying, go for it. LeBron James sent him a message, said he is so happy for J.R. Smith's college golf career. He's giving a lot of praise to his ex-teammate and friend, saying that as he begins his NCAA golf career, so happy and proud of you, my brother. He skipped college for the NBA in 2004, officially cleared to suit up for the North Carolina A&T State University men's golf team, and paving the way to finally becoming an NCAA athlete. So there's obviously, if he didn't even go to college in the first place, there's no hang up there, right?
Yeah, he should still have all of his eligibility.
Right.
I'm just wondering why he wants to play against college people. He's grown. Why don't he try to go for the pro golfers tour?
Well, maybe he's not quite there as far as his skills are concerned. But he's, maybe he watched golf during the Olympics and saw, these kids that are, still out there doing it. And I love the fact that not only is he choosing to play competitive golf in college, but the college that he chose to go to an HBCU. So like you, there is that question many of us have, why not go and start, but I love the fact that he is going to a Black school and that he's playing golf. It reminds me of all of those great golf programs that a lot of our HBCUs have, and he's giving them a really nice position for the spotlight to be on this golf team.
Yes, because who knew the HBCU had golf curriculum? And does he have to take classes to qualify? That's the other thing.
Well, the other part of it is apparently he's been sitting in or has, I don't know if he is officially registered for classes, but he was spotted walking around campus and hitting up classes. I don't know what hitting up classes means.
I hope he only hitting up classes and not college students.
At 35 years old, I'm not maybe hitting up the instructors. I'm not sure.
Let's go for that because a grown man millionaire on an HBCU campus is highly sought after and easily able to come up. So I hope he's not out there, stepping in the name of love.
And saying and it's him. So folks, do let us know what your second chapter looks like. I'm just fascinated by the opportunity. George Wallace, who's on with us every week, he has said a number of times he went to school. He went to I think the University of Akron. But he says, with all the changes, and especially in terms of politics and things that are going on today, he would like to go back to school. He would like to sit in on some classes. He'd like to audit classes. Would you like to do that, Damon?
Absolutely, 100% not. You can learn anything you want to learn online on YouTube,
right.
or Google. Why would I go sit in a classroom or go online and have somebody forcing me to do assignments? But no, I'm not discouraging anybody from later in life taking classes and courses and things of that nature. But life has been a pure set of learning lessons for me on a daily basis. So I'm gonna get out here and live it in the real life. And if there's anything I want to experience, I'm gonna try to do it, learn it through doing, more so than in a classroom setting. But I admire everyone because I'm not as well read as I would like to have been, but you can't get those years back, and there's always books on tape.
Okay, J. Anthony Brown.
I can listen to something as I drive from city to city.
Yeah, and you do a lot of driving. You're right.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, airplanes as well. But yeah, I'm kudos to him, and I hope it encourages other people not only to further their education in some way or another, or learn a new skill or a new take on a new curriculum, but also puts a highlight on the HBCUs and the fact that they even have a golf program, and maybe we can get some more of our young men involved in golf, and that might be an incentive for them to go to school and stay there. So, if you can get a golf scholarship as a young Black male, that would be awesome.
A number of our HBCUs do have golf programs. I want to say like the last year or the year before the last year of the family reunion, met folks from the University of Eastern Shore in Maryland, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, and they have a really great golf program. And do you know who, I'm not sure that he still is, but who was the golf coach at Jackson State University? Chicago related, not a direct relation, but it was Eddie Payton, Walter Payton's brother.
Nice.
Very nice. For I want to say years and years and years, Mr. Payton was the golf coach of Jackson State University.
And so that's another avenue, to get a scholarship, because it's got to be less competitive than trying to be on the NBA or in the basketball and football squads. Find a sport like that, or if you're not big or can't run fast, golf is basically walking. So, if you can walk, you can golf.
Well, you can ride too. But and while we're talking about golf, just in terms of the golf topic, I want to give a shout out to my friend Craig Kirby, who has started a program introducing young Black people, young people of color, into the sport of golf, and enabling them to not only learn the sport, but also to understand the avenues of golf, the different ways of making a living in the golf community.
Nice.
And it's called Golf My Sport. I will look it up, and maybe Chica, if you could look it up for me. But it's Craig Kirby's, and because it's like long discussion
No,
of
I'm sure it's an untapped resource that we're overlooking.
yeah.
And not only playing golf as an activity and a sport, but the opportunities that take place on golf courses once you become a golfer and the people that you interact with.
Yeah, the
You know,
business contacts and the folks that you make, and they say that that's one way of stepping up the ladder is by playing a good game of golf and making those connections and getting new jobs out of it.
and
And
it's one way comedians can meet Barack Obama on Martha's Vineyard. Golf course. That happened. Like for J.J. Williamson and comedian G Thing, they still have those photos to this day. The
that's
week that I
awesome.
didn't go, they all ended up on the golf course with Chris Spencer and Barack Obama.
That's crazy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy good.
Yeah.
Damon, so if not golf, and if not going to school, have you thought about, man, this comedy thing is really good, but if I had an opportunity, I would pursue what?
I have to be honest with you all. I would be a porn star. I would go in and get into the porn game. I don't think I'm too old. I'm still in shape. And, it'll take some of this burden off my wife because I'm at it so often. She would probably enjoy me doing a few things on set. Like, man, get up off my back. Leave me be. Don't work.
Oh, David, I've seen you and your wife. I don't know if you could perform any better with anyone else other than your wife, because you guys are electric.
I just don't know what my name would be, because
okay.
people expect me to be funny, so I don't know. I wouldn't be jumping naked. So I call myself Pastor Mike.
That's a big mic you got there, mister.
Speaking to the mic.
Step up.
Right.
Thank you, Yolanda. My friend Craig Kirby, and please forgive me, Craig. The organization is called Golf My Future My Game. And it really is quite good. So if you're interested in helping, if you'd like to donate to this organization, or if you have children that would benefit from this, check out Golf My Future My Game, and tell my friend Craig Kirby that Sybil sent you. So you would be
all right. I probably should retract that.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
I would probably be
or is this the next chapter?
The Sandwich King of Chicago. I'd go back to my Subway roots.
That's right, because before the comedy game, you owned a Subway sandwich shop.
Yes. No, you know what? To be honest, if I could do something that was water sport related, like
that's what I thought about you.
Yeah, I would definitely. I wouldn't mind being like a water sports coordinator. Jet ski operator, captain. Dinner cruise captain with my own little vessel. I might actually do that one day.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And especially because you have really expanded your whole water repertoire by traveling around the country, if not the world, in the Caribbean especially, and seeing what there is to do on water as well as on land. But definitely, and maybe you could get into a business where you could loose some boats.
I knew the pain was coming when I brought up the situation. But yeah, to be honest, anything around marinas, that's my thing. I love the water, and it's that would be a dope. Even if I had like a little sunglass hut on the beach, if I did anything on the beach where I sold sunglasses and cocktails and weed, yep, that's where I'm going.
I'm probably going to be right next to you in some way or another. I'm not in the water, but I am by the water. I'm really good at that. And as a Leo, the water has a calming effect on me. And so one of my things was always to own a bookstore, but it would be a bookstore / coffee shop / bar. And so I would go from morning till evening, and just have people come to the bookshop to check out a book, have a cappuccino or something, or a straight espresso, and then, stay for cocktail hour. And
Hey.
because I've always wanted, even when I was in college, I wanted to quit college, Damon, and become a bartender. And my mother told me I could. She told me I could do it the day after college graduation.
Well, let's do Sybil and Damon's Books by the Beach.
I think we have something.
That's it. Let's log out now.
Okay. All right. We're good. But Damon, we're talking businesses, and yesterday, what day was that? I forget. With Dominique, and we were talking about getting into the weed business because Jay-Z has made this such an incredible investment into the cannabis industry. So much so that, he has in his company, he has hired the first Black CEO of a major cannabis company. And so he's, including Black folks who used to get in trouble and put in jail for their weed activities. Now he's positioning so that Black people can not only buy it legally, but also they can profit from it as in terms of owning a distributorship or being in it on the selling side.
Yeah, I would be great at that. I already have experience. In the sale and distribution of cannabis. But yeah, that's awesome. Jay-Z is continually to set the bar higher, and he's impressive to me beyond belief. But that's the hustler spirit in him. And you take a hustler and you put him in a legit enterprise. If they keep the same drive, they're going to prosper. And he and Beyonce are also the face of a new Tiffany promotion as well. Yeah. So the rich get richer.
Exactly. But
both of those have a little green involved.
Oh boy, do they. And certified billionaire. And Beyonce is expanding her fashion empire, as we talked about in the What You Need to Know newsletter, about her talking about the history of the Black cowboy and cowgirl. That's part of her latest fashion line. And so that's really cool.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And we can leave the rest of it off.
Yeah.
Well, Damon, I'm excited. I love the idea. I can see you in a jaunty little captain's hat.
Well, if I combine both occupations, that's all I'll be wearing. And since I curve to the left, I could be the new Captain Hook. That's my formula.
That's your name.
I'm standing like Captain Morgan.
I just want to tell you that you've given me quite a visual, so I thank you for that. I thank you.
All right.
and dancer, because I got to tell you, I loved the routine that you and your wife had, the dance routine for her 50th birthday, the video, and all of that. That was a lot of fun. You guys are great together.
Yeah, she killed it. I was just a prop, but I was happy to be a part of it. Yeah,
that was nice. That was really sweet. So I'm telling you, if I can't own a football team, I would definitely like to be in the warmth of the Hawaiian Islands, the Caribbean islands, somewhere with a bookstore and a coffee shop and perhaps some other chemical.
I'll probably start my business on Stony Island. For those of you who don't know, around the country, that's the avenue in Chicago.
On the east side of town, yes.
Right.
And I was thinking blue, but because of the whole porno thing. But okay.
Well, actually, I did keep my slip for my boat was in Blue Island. That's where we were located. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, right okay. On the river. It's a nice little hookup they got down there.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
Not really lately because I've been really busy, fortunately. My summer are zooming by, and with the Martha's Vineyard taking up 3 weeks of August, right now is when I would really kick into my leisurely boat season. But I've been taking a lot of gigs, and I'm going as far as I can go, as much as I can, because I believe we may get shut down soon. So I'm stacking my acorns. You know what I mean? I'm not saying shut down, but even I might even shut myself down for a little while. Pull back, so if I can have a nice little nest egg for winter, home is happy. We'll get back into our renovations around here in our little home
Mm-hmm.
improvement projects. And
Mm-hmm.
still for the
Yeah.
winter. So I'm going ham. I'm going full speed right now, all over the place. Tomorrow I'll be in St. Louis. Friday, Lexington, Kentucky. Next Thursday in Miami. So I'm all over the place.
Well, that's what you need to know. And let us move to not only where Damon is appearing, but let us move to the What You Need to Know newsletter.
Let's do that.
Because look at there. For those of you who are hearing us for the first time, the What You Need to Know newsletter is the operation that we started before the Tom Joyner Morning Show ended. It is an opportunity for us to continue doing what we did with Tom Joyner, which is to super serve the African American community. And especially in terms of news and information, we like to inform and empower people through the information that we share with them each and every day. Please go to SybilWilkes.com. We'd love to have you have a subscription to it, and it's absolutely free. SybilWilkes.com, and it'll be in your email box every Monday through Friday morning, first thing. Amongst the things that we are talking about, obviously, we are talking about the voting rights bills that are coming up before Congress and hopefully before the Senate. But one of the other things that is a big part of our discussion is what happened on January 6th, the Capitol insurrection. And that was our top story, in which the Capitol police officer has been exonerated in the shooting of an Air Force veteran who was a 35-year-old Ashley Babbitt. She was the young woman you may have seen in the videos from January 6th, as she was climbing over to get into a window above a door that led to the speaker's outer office, the speaker of the House's outer office. They were trying to get in there. She would, and just on the other side of that is where members of Congress were being sequestered to stay away from this unruly crowd. And so she's crawling over, and a policeman trying to stop her, a Capitol police officer, he shot her. She died. And there was a lot of discussion about bringing charges, at least on her family's part, especially. But this QAnon supporter and Donald Trump supporter was not.
Insurgent.
And insurgent, yes, was not to have, they're not going to have their day in court, at least in terms of the investigation that was done into this unidentified Capitol police officer. He will not be identified, nor will his family, out of safety, because apparently the attempts have been made by the Trump supporters, the QAnon people, and the other insurgents, to find out who this person is, and who the family is, and threats have been made, as you might expect. And it's just it was a sad day. This is a sad situation. You don't want to see people die as a result of this, but that was you bring violence, and sometimes you have to die by violence. And that
You
was.
play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's like, she could have easily stayed out of the Capitol building and be alive today. It's unfortunate she lost her life. And the window over the door, is that called, like a transom or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look at
I
you,
was
Mr.
looking for
Home
you to
Improvement.
I was looking for you to hit him with the vocab. I was looking for a BA word.
Sorry. I'm saying you beat me to it, but you're absolutely right. That's what it is. That is exactly what it is. And I've been reminded of that by watching HDTV a lot lately. And especially the folks out of Mississippi that buy up the old classic homes and redo them. All right. So as I mentioned about the Speaker of the House and things that are going on in Washington, D.C., the Democrats are divided in terms of how to build back better and what ways that they should be doing this. And one of our young contributors is Cameron Riley, and he talked about the progressive and the moderate Democrats clashing on how to move forward on the president's $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. They said that this is a divide in the party and holding back his Build Back Better plan. Speaker Pelosi wants to move the bill forward with the previously passed legislation, but faces backlash from the centrist Democrats who claim the bill is being rushed. And they came back early in order to do this, and apparently they're going to make some progress. They made some progress late into the night, and perhaps they will make some progress before they leave back and continue their summer vacation. She can only afford to lose 3 votes before the bill collapses entirely. But 9 centrist Democrats have come forward voicing their concerns over the legislation. So there has to be some fast talking and perhaps some pork, some other legislation. And we do know that this can happen. So we will keep you up to date on that, and all eyes on the House as we are looking at the passage of the John Lewis voting rights bill and the passage of that. So, which is just in the name of John Lewis is something that you want to see done, and know that all of the work that he did in trying giving of his life as a young man in the march over the Edmund Pettus Bridge, as he was beaten within an inch of his life, came back, recovered, recuperated, and continued his life, and taking it all the way to the United States Congress, and doing all of these good things that John Lewis is known for. To have this bill passed is a very important thing in the United States House. And the next step is to please, Mr. President, get off your stick there and let's do away with the filibuster so that bills like this can pass.
Absolutely.
This is also in terms of the coronavirus, Damon. Sometimes it boggles the mind as we talk about the coronavirus. We can't even play Busta Rhymes' plea to people or his stance against the mask. He hates it with such a virulence, and people are trying to figure out, this is where you choose to plant your flag. This is where you choose to make the loudest statement about wearing masks, as people are dying, especially people in our community who have not gotten it's not about getting the vaccine, it's about the mask. Really? What are your thoughts on people, making their loud pronouncements about this?
It's such a divide because people are dug in on both sides when it comes to the vaccine, the conspiracy theories, and the issues of people not wanting to take it. And then for him to go to use his platform in such a way, if that's your choice and that's your stance, that's one thing. But to encourage throngs of people to go against science and against medicine, I can see saying I don't believe in vaccine, they might be on something. But to say don't wear your mask when that's the best way to keep us safe. Social distancing prior to the vaccine is what brought all the numbers down. Social distancing and the protocols of mask wearing. So wear your damn mask. And now I saw 2 stories where they're doing incentives for people to get vaccinated. In Summit County, Ohio, they're trying to do $100 vaccine vouchers, give you $100, and then the prison in Washington is giving the inmates 10 free packets of ramen noodles. But my thing is, this is all facts.
Right.
My thing is, if either one of those incentivize you to do something that you were so staunchly against, then your ass wasn't really against it so hard. If $100 all of a sudden means you're not being microchipped and you're not being Tuskegee'd,
right.
So it's just an ignorant stance. I mean, even if it's your choice, if you have a platform, you got to be more responsible with your platform. It's just my point. I understand all the skepticism, but the science and the facts that these emergency rooms are filling up with people that are unvaccinated should be obvious to people that the vaccine is working to some extent. Now, what happens to us 15, 20, 30 years from now? Who knows? But right now, you don't want to be in an emergency room. You don't want to be on the ventilator. And then there's always the people that wait too late. And now they're talking, oh, I should have done it. And, whatever you do, take the needle. It's too late. Right. So like DL said about Busta, he said, because Busta was saying it's killing my energy and I need to see your energy from your face. And DL said, when your ass gets sick, keep that same energy.
Okay. Right. He's absolutely right. Yeah, you can't deny DL's wisdom there and talking to Busta. I don't get it. And of course, recently the FDA gave full approval to the use of the Pfizer vaccine, and people are still who previously said, well, I'm going to wait until the FDA says it's a good thing to do. Now the FDA has given the full approval to the Pfizer vaccine. One woman who is a nurse said she was waiting for the FDA to come in. Her uncle was dying. He got on the phone and told her, please get the vaccine. After the vaccine was passed by the FDA, she said, I don't know. I don't know. She told that to her uncle who was dying, and she used the vaccines not being fully approved as a way of delaying it. And now she has it. She says she still has to do some more studying.
Well, I mean, that's her right and that's her choice, and
Hmm.
that's her funeral. She'll come to that.
Right. Right.
So, I have family members that have not been vaccinated yet, and we have our group Zoom calls and things of that nature. And I just say, there are alternative methods. Of course, you can, try to boost your immune system so that if you do get sick, you don't get as sick. But I just don't think that right now that they would be diabolical enough to give 200 million people something that's going to be detrimental. Now, for them not to know it, that's one thing. For us not to have the science for the long-term effects, that's one thing. But vaccines have been proven. I mean, when I went to South Africa, I had to get shots. I took the
Yeah.
shot. I
Yeah.
didn't took. The shot lasts for 10 years. I didn't question it, and that's just how life is. But to each his own. But it's sad that people are being influenced by social media and non-expertise, and just taking it and run with it, and then speaking it as fact. And now they're so savvy at presenting it as news stories, so people will hit you with an article and see it says right here. But
Yeah.
the article is from goofyassgeorge.com. So,
Right. Right. Right.
you know,
And one thing that I want to talk about, and Lynn, thank you so much. Lynn Sell on YouTube says
uh-oh.
against the mask or vaccine is not an ignorant stance. Ignorant means not knowing. They know. They've gotten the same info that you and I have gotten. It's a stupid stance.
And
That I'm with you, Lynn. I'm with you. And one of the most ignorant things that I don't understand is that people are not willing to get the vaccine, but they're willing to buy a medication for animals that's used on animals to deworm them because they read somewhere that this can prevent them from getting the virus. You're willing to take an animal medicine. And Gabrielle Williams on Facebook says they're eating hot dogs and don't know what's in it. You're absolutely right. But it is just mind-boggling that we will eat these things. We will spend money on something that we've seen on the internet, and we will use our money to buy a deworming medication for animals, for cows. You're willing to do that instead of taking the vaccine. Facebook, CM Williams says, I've given up trying to convince grown ass people to do something smart. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. It makes me very sad. And I'm glad you all are out there, but it just boggles the mind. And I have questions when I get to heaven. Um, First question is Donald Trump really? Second question is well, no. The first question is where are my mom and my daddy? Where I know. Well, I'm hoping they're up there. Second question is Donald Trump, and then really, what was the lesson here in this year and a half with the pandemic and with the way people have responded to this, the way people have performed? What is the lesson that we were supposed to gather from this? I know other people have their own questions, and that might be what's really going on question one day. Questions you have for the Lord when you get to heaven. And we are assuming. Nicole on Facebook says, if you can put on a seatbelt to protect yourself and not a mask to protect yourself and get a vaccination. And yes, I love a good beef hot dog. I'm with you with just mustard and relish. That's the Chicago in me. All right. So now, one more thing I do want to talk about, and this was a story that I did in the business section. I'm sorry, in the social justice section, and this was a tip of the hat to my family because my grandmother and my grandfather were big fans of this woman, Josephine Baker, the dancer, the entertainer from St. Louis born, but she became the Belle of France because she was accepted there as opposed to the United States. And she fought for equal justice in the performing arts as well as in our daily-to-day lives. And she worked for the French government as a part of the French resistance during World War II. And for that, she was lauded during her lifetime. And she is now the president of France has decided she's going to be a part of the group of people who they're going to, their burial, they're going to be reinterred in the Pantheon in France. And so this is one of the greatest honors one can get. And so just a tip of the hat to my grandparents and their love of Josephine Baker. Welcome back.
Hey.
So that story is also in the What You Need to Know newsletter. In entertainment, Damon, are you as intrigued as I am about all of the craziness with Jeopardy and the host and hosts?
Wow. Yes, I am. And they had an episode today with Alex Trebek, and that's always a little freaky.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But yes, I'm definitely intrigued by it. And also watching Jeopardy today just gave me a clear description of the disparity racially in education, because some of the useless shit they know. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but the stuff that those people know is obviously from great education. I mean, it's amazing.
Or not having a life.
That too. No, you're brilliant, but you have a life. No, you have to understand, and you are an exception, of course, when it comes to education. You've been provided with some of the top schools, and you're also, that's based on the fact that you're brilliant and your parents raised you and they stayed together. But I'm talking about this disparity in the households of education. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry to hijack your story.
No. That's very funny. I am very upset with the fact that LeVar Burton was not chosen to be the host of Jeopardy, even though he was, he apparently he was the favorite of the fans to take over the gig as the host, filling the shoes of Alex Trebek. What I did not understand was why his numbers were so low.
Racism.
Okay. Here's the other thing, and I believe that does play a part in it, Damon. I'm with you. But here's the other thing: his weeks that he hosted Jeopardy were doing some of the prime TV watching for other events like the Olympics, like the January 6th commission, their first day of having a meeting. That was one of LeVar Burton's. There were and somebody broke it down to a number of events that took place over the days that he was hosting, in which people's viewing was moved to a different area, was moved to another subject, as opposed to supporting him with your Nielsen ratings. So he is still the fan favorite now that Mike Richards has stepped out of the running of the position, and the executive producer, and the word is that he won't last as the executive producer for long. But folks are coming around LeVar Burton just to get his thoughts on, okay, so now that Mike Richards is out, what do you think? Would you like to still have the job? And he has remained very quiet. He is not saying anything. He keeps, when they ask him, like the TMZ people or whatever, asking him, there's like, no comment. And he's got to have a comment, but perhaps he's like, he's like Abraham Lincoln. It's better to remain silent and to be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt and lose a gig. And so if he stays, into himself, then perhaps he will still be considered. But the young woman, the actress who was supposed to take over the special Jeopardy events, Mayim Bialik, according to the word in television and sources, they're saying that the execs for the game show are doing everything they can to convince her to take the gig that Mike Richards had, and then they will perhaps give the special episodes to someone else. The actress from The Big Bang Theory, she was Blossom, all of these other shows. She is a brilliant woman. She really is. She's like a nuclear physicist or something like that.
Yeah, she definitely is a brainiac for sure.
Right. So, I did not see her But I can imagine, she does a good job, and otherwise, why would they have not selected her if she didn't do a good job?
I say the person in the selection process put himself in the job. So yeah, they said he'd been posturing to be the replacement for Trebek for years, and that's always been his dream job. Unfortunately, he's also an idiot and got a lot of the baggage,
Yeah.
and so that's that.
Yeah.
For as far as she's concerned, I guess being in TV and film and television as long as she was, she probably knows it's not all it's cracked up to be. She might not want to dedicate her life and time to that. I'm sure she's still got money. She's got to have, the means after Big Bang was such a hit, and then the Blossom days. Yeah. Not to mention she's a physicist, so she could probably just go ahead and get her job at Walgreens.
Right.
that's pharmacist.
Oh, Damon, how you do make me laugh. And she's got a family too. So, there's all of that. She's and we wish her well. She's also got she has another job. She has a new sitcom on Fox. And so they are working. They say that they're working around her many schedules.
Yeah, and she shouldn't even be in the running. She should take herself out of the running if she already has a job. Especially when there's somebody out there lobbying for the position and he has a petition signed in his honor to get him in there. But I know I'm not up for it. That's for sure.
Okay, another.
Even though I'm sure I can sit there and be condescending if I'm reading the answers.
We can all do that if we have the answers in our hand, right?
Right. No, so close. It's actually the Nile. It's not the Euphrates. No.
Not the Euphrates. Oh my gosh, David. So I am glad and I am sad regarding the return of Sha'Carri Richardson. Did you see the young woman who was all set to run in the Olympics? After she got through the trials, they came through with the drug testing results and said that she had weed in her urine, and so this is going to preclude you from participating in the Olympics. She wasn't chosen to be as a part of any team like the relay team, so she sat at home. I think she sat at home and went into Walmart that I saw her at a couple of weeks ago, but did not speak to her. But because I was like, that looks like Sha'Carri, but I can't go up and say, "Hey, Sha'Carri, what's up?"
Now, so there are a lot of Sha'Carris in Walmart. You're talking about with their hair and them lashes.
And it was Dallas. You're right. But she did return to the track, and it did not go well.
No, she got smoked.
She got smoked by everybody. She came in dead last.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. And then she wasn't humble in her speech afterward. It made her look really ignorant. She probably lost endorsement opportunities and everything just from being so hood with it.
Well, Damon, I like her bravado. I think because she's probably taken a lot of beat downs over her life. By her family, by the public, because she doesn't look like she doesn't look like the normal Black girl, whatever that looks like in people's minds, but they have visions and thoughts of the way she should look, the way she should speak, the way she should run. And so I kind of like that. And I kind of like she's getting under the skin, especially of people. But she ended up coming in 9th place, a time of 11.14 seconds. They were not expecting. The Jamaican athletes ran the table for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And she said that she's good. She said, "I'm good, and I will be back. I ain't done yet." And
right.
And that's what you want to hear from your athletes. First of all, she's not done because she didn't get a chance. She did something dumb and all of that, but I want her to come back, and I want her to smoke them this time.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. But you got to be humble at some point. You already lost the Olympics, and then you lost the race, and you still got bravado. I mean, everybody's been beaten down by life. Michael Jackson got beat down by Joe, but he knew how to hold a press conference.
Michelle Lynn Summerall on Facebook says, "Here's the thing with sprinters: talk trash, but back it up." Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This was not a good example of
If
that.
you're gonna run your mouth, run the race. That's all I'm saying.
And if you don't run well, then don't run your mouth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No, I get it though. You know, black girl magic, black girl power. You know, she's overcome circumstances, but we're talking opportunities. And see, opportunities for the Olympics are not just the race. It's what happens well beyond the race.
For
And
sure.
you have to play the game. I know she's young, and I know she probably comes from a scattered background, but you got to have common sense, especially when you are already in the wrong. First of all, to be smoking weed or having any type of weed in your system this so close after what it takes, the dedication and work to make it to the Olympics, to blow it over some weed, for one. Secondly, then to be off all this time and not letting that motivate you to be prepared for this upcoming race, for you to fall sub 11 minutes or 11 seconds in that race. That means she was smoking weed the whole time. I'm sure they didn't test her before this race, because I feel like she was on gummies on the track.
So yeah, and while the Olympics was going on,
right, it was like pow. She's like, "Are they shooting?" And then she took off from the block.
Damon, it's time for us to take a look at Yogi's jewels for the day. Peace is achieved when your thoughts and actions move in harmony with the flow of the universe. That's a lot right there. Peace is achieved when your thoughts and actions move in harmony with the flow of the universe. I wish that for you, Sha'Carri. I wish that for everybody. Damon, thanks so much for coming on today, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you, and it's part of the universe. I'll be flowing with you next Tuesday.
Yes. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Damon.
Namaste.